Munchers, and welcome back to my Booktube channel. I'm Milena, and today we're going to be answering the AUTHORTUBE newbie tag questions. So if you haven't seen my first video was the Booktube newbie tag questions, so I will put that in some area up here, or up here actually. Or I will put the link in the description below and you can go and watch that video after you watch this one. Alright, let's get into these questions. Alright, first question. How did you find out about AUTHORTUBE? So I mentioned in the other video that I only found out about Booktube a few days ago, but I have actually known about AUTHORTUBE for a while now, and this is because I think one of the questions asked how I found out about AUTHORTUBE, but either way, it was me just looking for advice on writing, and that's how I figured out that it was a thing that exists. Yeah. So. Oh yeah, that was the question that I was answering. Anyway, yeah, I found out about it because I was searching for writing advice. Yeah, and so some of the people that I've been following for that are Jenna Moresi and I Write Early are the main ones. But there are so many more. But those are the two that I kind of binge. Anyway, what genres do you write in? I write in two different types of genres. I've published several short stories under a pseudonym because those are erotic short stories, so that's one genre. Most of those are erotic fantasy, and so the other genre that I write in is fantasy, and so just normal fantasy. So yeah, fantasy fiction. The novel that I'm writing right now is a fantasy novel. It's also kind of a political drama. So those are like two themes that I mix in that novel. And I'm almost done with it. Oh my goodness. Well, done with the first draft at least. Which is huge because it's my first one. So those are the two things that I usually write. Fantasy and adult. You know, adult books. Yeah. Next question. What is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? So writing tense, past tense, and point of view, third person. I don't know about you guys, but a book has to be like crazy good for it to be in first person and for it to not be like cringy to me. I just can't get over the whole me type thing. I need to have the third person, or else it's hard for me to read it. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing. Drop a comment down below if you do, or if you think that I'm wrong, also drop a comment down below and let me know. Okay. I'm not done with this question. Wait a minute. Category of story. So we've talked about this. So there's young adult, new adult, and adult are the kind of categories that I usually write in. I usually, though, stick with new adult and adult. So yeah. Next question. Are you a plotter, pantster, or planster? I am a plotter. Outlines are my best friend, and I outline almost everything. I mentioned that I was almost done with the first draft of my first novel. That's actually the first book of a trilogy that I'm planning. I have the whole trilogy almost planned out. Big plot points, things that I want to happen, so I already have like almost the whole thing planned out, as well as a standalone book that I'm planning on writing after the trilogy or during the trilogy, and that's gonna be like an erotic paranormal type novel, standalone. So yeah, I plot, and I plot like very far ahead, so that's just kind of who I am. Next question. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? I am self-published under a pseudonym, and I am yet to be published, hopefully soon to be published under my name, for my novel. Next question. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? That's a cool question. And my answer is actually, I'm leaning more towards self-publishing. I've already done it. Not the whole shebang with like a big book launch or whatever, because they were just like original stories of mine. But I lean more towards self-publishing. I think that it's just the faster way to get books into readers' hands. Taking out the middleman. You know, when I'm done with the book and I've obviously edited it and it's ready, I don't have to wait for anybody else to kind of tell me that it's ready to get to readers. I can just give it to you guys. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for. Yeah, next question. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? Interesting. Lots of writing vlogs, and I'm hoping to take you guys with me on the process of self-publishing, so lots of check-ins as I kind of learn what that's all about. That would be really interesting, and telling you guys about my process of writing, if that's something that you guys are interested in. Not gonna have a lot of advice videos yet on things like how to structure plot or how to write character development, because these are still things that I'm still working on as well, and so it'd be kind of weird for me to teach what I don't, or what I'm trying to get better at. So yeah, you guys let me know. But yeah, mostly check-ins and writing vlogs is what I'm planning. Okay, next question. When did you start writing? Oh boy. So I actually touched on this in the Booktube Newbie Tag video that I did, which is my first video. I started writing very young, almost the same time as I started reading, because it was part of an ESL program I was in, English as a Second Language program, where the teacher that I had, thankfully, she taught English through reading and creative writing. And so I started writing at the age of like 2 or 3 years old, very short things. And one of the questions, I'm going to show you some of my first little stories that I did in like kindergarten. They're so cute. But yeah, I started writing almost simultaneously with my reading, which is interesting. Not very common, but yeah, that's how I learned English. Next question. What was the first story you ever wrote? And this was the question I was talking about. I actually have them with me, right? I have like two. It's these two. So this was one of the very first quote-unquote stories that I wrote. It's really just the story of a butterfly. So egg, caterpillar, then butterfly type thing. So it's just this little paper. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's just this little paper thing with a few pages and some drawings. Yeah. It's just this was just words. So like the first page says egg, and the second one says caterpillar, and it was mostly for spelling. This though. This was an end-of-the-year project with my ESL teacher, and she actually had them like bound, like we sent them in, or like we had these books where we could fill them out, and so we printed out the things we had typed, like the story, and then we taped it with illustrations onto the pages. And so this is the first book that the first story that I ever wrote, and it's actually bound with a spine and everything, which is super cool. It's called Fishy Tales, written in and illustrated by me. The name is different because it was before I changed my name. So yeah, and it was just a children's little story. I actually haven't read this. It'd be interesting to read this on camera for the first time in forever. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know. But for now, I'll put them away. I'll leave them here. Yeah, anyway. So So that's a little interesting. I started writing very young. Other than that, I don't think I've ever stopped writing from that point onwards. There was a point where lots of points where I like didn't write for like a very long time, but like months or so, but I don't think I ever I don't think I ever stopped writing for an extended period of time, like for years or whatever. Yeah, I've been writing ever since. Next question. What authors have inspired your writing the most? Ooh, I like this question. I've got a lot of favorite authors, but who have, I guess, inspired me the most? Is that the word they use? Yeah. Inspired my writing the most. Rick Riordan is, I'm just a huge die-hard fan of Rick Riordan. He's the author of the Percy Jackson series, if you didn't know, and like, why would you not know? Because, hello, have you been living under a rock? But anyway, if you didn't know, now you know. Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, I've read those and they're awesome. One of the, I guess, biggest things to me was that the books were so thick, because he was the only author that made books that could actually keep up with me. Like, it would take me 2 days to read like a 600-page book from him, instead of like the normal time it would take me to read a book from any other author that's like normal size, like 350 pages, whatever. I could read that in a day. And so that was really, Rick Riordan's books were really the only experience I had of like, wow, I'm gonna stop reading and start reading tomorrow, like the same thing, when I was a kid, because I kind of read books on a crazy time schedule. Anyway, so Rick Riordan is huge. I also, one of my favorite series is it's up there. It's the Artemis Fowl series by Eoin Colfer. Colfer, I want to say. I might write that on the screen. I think it's an Irish name, so I will put that there. Let's see who else. I think those two are the ones who the stories that I've read that have inspired my writing, or that I've like taken techniques or formatting of the books and I've used that in my writing. Yeah. Next question. I'm sure I've taken things from all of the other series, but those are the only two that I have memorized the authors and know them really well. Yeah. And Rick Riordan's series, The Kane Chronicles, I know it came out a while ago, but bear with me, as well as his new series, which is on Norse mythology. Both of those are in my to-be-read pile. And I'm actually, the next video that I'm going to do is the TBR tag, which is the to-be-read tag, which are questions about my, my to-be-read pile. Yeah. Next question. Let's see. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? I find that if I simply leave it to like whenever I can find the time, then I never actually find the time, because something always gets in the way. So I don't schedule my writing sessions either, but when I wake up and I eat breakfast, most of the time I will try to go directly into writing right then and there, right after breakfast. So wake up, I read for a bit, I eat breakfast while I read, and then I go straight into writing. And I usually write for about a scene. My scenes are usually about 1,000, like 800 to 1,000 words long, so that takes me about an hour usually, unless I have a morning class, and then I try to write later on in the day, and I usually don't. So that's just something that I gotta accept, because I'm a uni student and I gotta go to class. So, but other than that, I try to write first thing when I wake up, and so it's not exactly scheduled, because it's not like, you know, it's at this hour. No, it doesn't matter if I wake up at like 6 in the morning or like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I will eat breakfast and then I will write. Yeah, that's my routine. Next question. Do you type on a computer typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? Mostly I type on my computer, but I will also type on my phone if it's like late at night and I'm in bed and I wake up and I'm like, oh, I have a brand new book idea or whatever, and I will grab my phone and I will start typing, and I'll be like this and I'll start typing. I also use dictation on my phone. If I'm on the computer and I get into flow and all of a sudden I'm thinking faster than I can type, I would just pick up my phone and just talk everything out to my phone using dictation. And that's a thing that I like a lot. Anyway, that's how I write. And where do you write in general? At my desk or in bed, as I said. And if I need moral support, I will be at the kitchen table with my mom. Yeah. Next question, and also the final question. What are you looking forward to now that you are a part of AUTHORTUBE? And I mentioned this in the last video as well. Community is something that I think is awesome. Back then I talked about having a community of people who read the same things that I read, but I also am really interested in having a community of people who also write. It's a lot less, I guess, isolating when you have other friends that write, because writing is usually mostly isolationist type of job. You just sit down and you write, right? But if you have friends that also write and you can kind of update each other and we can talk about writing, and yeah, just having bookish and writing friends, writer friends. Yeah, that's it. Alright, this concludes my second video on Booktube, and also kind of / AUTHORTUBE. So yeah, it's been fun. Drop a like down below because you obviously liked the video. Hello. And subscribe to appease the YouTube gods, and hit the bell icon so that you get notified when I upload the next video. And go and watch my other video and the rest of my videos. And if you've already done that, well, you've already hit the bell, so you will get notified when I upload again. I'm thinking Sundays and Wednesdays as my upload schedule, so we'll see how that goes. I will keep you guys updated. Keep munching on those books, you guys. I will keep also munching on my books alongside of you. And anyway, bye.